my little space where I share my CrochetObjet knitting journey and along with other makings and creative adventures. Today is Wednesday, May 8th, and this is episode 13. I'm coming to you from Israel. I am very grateful for this space where I can just sit and chat all my yarny talks with you as the things are getting more and more complicated here in my little beloved country, and yeah, even more complicated than what one could even imagine. I am surrounded by all of my yarny project bags ready to be shared. A few of them will be shared here with you today. A few will wait for future episodes as it is just too early to share today. I have my cup of coffee with me, this time in a teacup that I purchased in Copenhagen on our trip to Copenhagen last October. This city is full of yarn shops and full of little artisan studio of handmade ceramics, and this one came with me from one of these beautiful family-owned ceramic studio. It's a teacup, and usually I drink my green tea matcha in it, but today I have coffee in it. So I have a little bit of coffee and a little bit of lemon water to keep my voice in a recording kind of shape. So yeah, I have a few knitting and crochet projects to share and something new that arrived in the mail. But let's start with what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a top-down yoke sweater, self-drafted yoke sweater that I knitted in 2018. I think I wore it a few times here in the past, but I knitted it in the time that we were planning our Japan adventure, family adventure to Japan. During the time that we made the research and planning our visit, I felt very inspired and wanted to knit myself something that I can take with me and wear there. It's knitted using the Knitting for Olive cotton merino blend, and if I'm not mistaken, I knitted it using a 3 or 3.5 millimeter needle. It's a very lightweight garment, so it's really good for the Israeli weather, so I can wear it. Of course, I can wear it during spring and sometimes during winter, because the winter is not that heavy here, and sometimes even during summer. So I really love it and I enjoy it. I wear it today exactly as I wore it on our Japan visit with a linen skirt. This is a not perfect linen skirt, and I like it. I like them together. This sweater has rolled hems, so all over rolled hem and rolled hem in the sleeves, and also rolled edge in the neck. Rolled edge. This is the word I was looking for. It has rolled edges all over. It's a very simple and plain, and a few of the knitters also wanted to knit it, so I wrote down the pattern in Hebrew and I called it Yoyogi sweater after the name of the first city that we were visiting in Tokyo. Our first Airbnb was in Yoyogi neighborhood, so I called it Yoyogi sweater. So this is what I'm wearing today. It has a little bit of a bell shape, and yeah, I really enjoy wearing it. Next up is a finished object that I wanted to share with you today. My second Scrappy sock is done, and now I have a finished pair of socks. Last episode I shared with you the frustration that I that I had during knitting the second sock. I just couldn't find the right color balance that I was looking for, but eventually I am very, very happy with the results. So this is the third attempt, and this one I'm very happy with the third one. Like the third attempt came as I imagined it, and I really like it. I think what I like the most about this is that it's a scrappy, colorful project, and I think I'm all into scrappy, colorful projects, as you will see later in this episode. But although I'm sharing it as a final object, I also consider it as a work in progress, because I still continue to make another sock to, you know, be in this, join this story, join this color story. So yeah, this pair is blocked, but as I just said, it's a finished object, but I consider it as a work in progress. I will in a second show you my new cast on, which is related to this project. Anyways, these are shorty socks. I cast on 60 stitches and knitted them on a short circular. The cuff is knit 1 to back loop and purl 1. The cuff was knitted on a 2mm short needle, and all the color works was knitted on a 2.75mm needle. The rest of the sock was knitted on a 2.25mm, and yeah, short circular heel and toe. Usually I knit on a long circular needle. So this Scrappy project is still a work in progress, although I showed it as the final object. Yeah, so in this lovely project bag that Yael, one of the knitters in the Knit Night Club, made for me, I have a lot of scrappy yarns, a lot of scrappy sock yarn, and I just started to knit. So this is the third sock, or the third sister or neighbor for these two. So this is a new cast on. So yeah, let's see how this one works. Next up, what is next up? So I think we can stay in the socks neighborhood. Next is another socks work in progress. Lives in this lovely tiny little fabric pocket. I don't know even if to call it a bag, but it's a tiny pocket that I purchased in Dila and Camila in our Holland getaway. I shared footage from this shop, from our visit in this shop in Utrecht, in my Holland getaway video, so I will link the video down below in the description box for you. But here I have a pair of vanilla socks that I knit as I create a full video tutorial for vanilla socks that I plan to upload here on my YouTube channel in Hebrew. This time in Hebrew for my local followers. Many of my local followers reached out to ask if I can create a video tutorial for sock knitting for beginners, and I'm very, very happy to do it for my community. And I started to knit this pair as I create this video. So this is quite a work in progress. It's like a very big project to work on, and I'm busy making it, I think almost 2 weeks now. Yeah, now I'm in the part that I share how to knit the pickup and gusset decreases. And for this project I use a yarn that I was gifted by the lovely people from Yarn, the yarn shop, Yarn COIL, the yarn shop that I visited in here in Zichron Yaakov a few months ago. I shared an episode when I where I share also my visit to this yarn shop. And Zvika and Yulia, the lovely people from this shop, gifted me this yarn. It's a beautiful, beautiful variegated yarn. Let me show you the label. It's a Malabrigo sock yarn. I think you can still get it there if you are local and you want to purchase the same yarn. It's a Malabrigo yarn and it calls Ultimate Sock, and the color is 344. So yeah, very, very beautiful, and I really, really enjoy knitting with it and recording the whole tutorial. I cast on 60 stitches for this tutorial, and I make a tutorial of how to knit a pair of vanilla socks top down from the cuff down on a short circular needle. I am using a 9-inch circular in size 2.25 millimeter. These are my go-to needles, and I will link these needles down below in my Amazon storefront for you. And yeah, I really enjoy this making, and I really enjoy the result. Let me show it to you up close. So yeah, so this is another work in progress that I wanted to share with you today. I cannot say when will it be done because I just don't want to promise, but it is it's in the work and it's in the gusset section, so not a lot more to record, but there are still sections that I have to record, so, and also I have to, you know, edit this video, so it's a long process. But eventually it will come up in onto my YouTube channel, and it will be a Hebrew tutorial. So I hope you will understand it. This is all meant to support my local community and my local followers. So yeah, this was the next work in progress that I wanted to share. Next, I think, is a crochet project that I want to share with you. So next is a blanket project that I just want to show with another blanket project, just because it's too beautiful not to share together. So look at these two. These two blanket projects makes my heart sing in the way they look together. I really, really like the combination of a plain, simple, basic, minimalistic project sits together, live together in such a beautiful harmony with a scrappy, multicolor knitted project. So just wanted to show it to you. I discovered it one day when I work on my projects, and sometimes I pile them in the living room, one on top of the other, and then I go to bed because I really love to knit or crochet at the last part of the day. And when I pile them together and go to sleep, and then the next morning when I wake up and come to see them with fresh eyes, sometimes the pile looks so like surprising, and I think like, who placed it like that? And it really feels so fresh, and like it's like I feel like I didn't do it. It's made by itself, or somebody else made me a surprise, and then I wake up in the morning and I can see what is waiting for me there. And these two makes me so happy seeing them together, folded like that. I am really in love with the pile they create. The fiber pile that they create together makes me so happy. So yeah, I'm not going to share a lot about my coziest memory blanket today, though I made a lot of progress, but we will keep it for future, for maybe for the next episode. But I just wanted to update you regarding my soft row summer throw. So I finished joining all the squares in my soft row summer throw, and now it is 12 by 10 squares. Very hard to show on camera, but now I have 12 by 10 squares joined. And when I finished joining all the squares, I spread them on our bed where it's supposed to be. And when I saw it, you know, saw them all joined and saw the size, the final size that I achieved, I thought it might look better. And the size of our bed, I think it asked for a little bit more, a little bit bigger size of throw. But I don't have a lot of yarn left. Let me show you the yarn that I have left. Yeah, it's in my buco bag. Yeah. And I only have left one full ball, and I think this is maybe a little bit more than half a ball. I'm using the knitting for olive merino for this project in color soft rose. I follow the throw is made out of soft rose squares. I have a tutorial shared here on my YouTube channel. I will leave it down below in the description box for you. Anyway, I have 1.5 balls left, and each ball makes 8 squares. So if I want to add, I think I want to make it 13 by 10 or maybe 14 by 10, I will need to have at least 2 more balls here, maybe even 3. So yesterday evening, one of the knit night knitters here in the Knit Night Club, she said she want to order something from Knitting for Olive because she want to crochet the same throw but using a different color. So she said she want to order a few colors to look at them and to maybe to think what color, to choose what color she likes the most out of the natural colors that they have in the merino collection. And the minute I heard she want to order something from them, I said, okay, let's share the order and let's share the shipping. I need 3 more balls to finish my summer throw. So we yesterday, after the knit night was, after everybody was gone, I ordered 3 more balls from the soft rose color, and I hope it will be here soon so I can finish my throw. So this is where I am with my soft rose summer throw. Yeah, and I joined them using the front slip stitch method, and it is also a tutorial here on my YouTube shared for free. Here on my YouTube, I will link both tutorials here for you down in the description box. And the cozy memory, my cozy memory blanket will wait for the next episode. I made quite a progress, but I share it mainly on my Instagram stories and reels. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can see the progress there. Well, I share it on the go there. Next is another crochet Scrappy project, and I think this is also, I showed a sneak peek of it on the weekend on my Instagram stories, but I am completely obsessed. And this is a new Scrappy scarf or chalette. I don't know how you say it, but I learned a new word, chalette, lately. And on this Scrappy Make Me Very Happy project, I use fingering sock wool, hand-dyed scrap, leftovers, mainly leftovers, and I crochet it using a 3mm crochet hook. I cast on, to be honest, I had a start with 2 rows crocheted already for quite a few weeks, but it was sitting there in the box with scraps of wool, hand-dyed wool, Swedish hand-dyed wool that one of the viewers here were so kindly sent me when the war just started, and it was sitting there in the box, and I didn't have the time to, you know, give it like the attention it needed, but I really wanted to go back to it. And last weekend I eventually pull it out and enjoy some time with this lovely Scrappy granny stripe project. So I have it written. It's a very simple work, but I made a few increases here and there every few rows. So I have it written, and if it will come out what I imagine that I want it to be, I will write it down as a pattern. But meanwhile, I am using a Scrappy 4-ply fingering 4-ply Scrappy, the tiniest scraps of 4-ply fingering hand-dyed wool, not just hand-dyed but also, you know, leftovers of aweta and how do you call the long yarn for socks, and I'm using a 3mm crochet hook. At first, when I just started, I used you know, one color for each row, but then I thought, well, why not to use the tiniest scraps that I have, the tiniest leftovers that I have. It's a perfect use for them. So I started to make the magic knot. Whenever one yarn was finished, I make the magic knot, but unfortunately I don't trust the magic knot as much, so I make a magic knot, but I leave a long tail that I can weave in later. So my work has a lot of, you know, yarn ends that are waiting for me to be woven in. I guess I will weave them in the next in the upcoming weekend. But anyways, from that point I thought, why not to use the yarn, and when it's done, just to tie the new yarn to it and continue working. So you can see there are places that the yarn works even more than one row, and there are places that I, like with this yellow, I started it at the end of this row and then started the next row with it, and now I'm done, and I still have more to crochet in this row. So it's a simple granny stripe project, Scrappy granny stripe project, but with a little bit of increases just to give it the chalette, I don't know how to say, shape. So with a little bit of scarf shawl kind of shape. And what else I want to tell about it? And yeah, and like with all my Scrappy projects, I cannot let my free control leave the house. I still need to choose my colors. So in some cases, when I tie a knot and I start to work with a new yarn, I don't feel it's right, so I will rip it off and start with a new color until I'm happy. I'm happy with this project, and this project keeps me happy like you cannot imagine. I am just obsessed and I want to stay happy, so I want to choose my colors. This is the part of the joy. For me, it's, I don't know, maybe it's the main part of the joy. I do like the granny stripe rhythmus, like, you know, crocheting 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 3 double crochet. It's very meditative. I do like to knit, but the colors, making color combinations, it's my happy place, and I want to enjoy it, and I want it to speak Moran's language, Moran's color language. So I still choose my colors, although it's a Scrappy project. Sorry, maybe the true Scrappy work is still waiting in the future for me. But for now, I choose my colors. And sometimes there are mixtures that are happening because it sits in a box and it sits right next to a color or right next to a color from another project, and the combination looks fresh to me, looks interesting to me, looks nice to me, so I will add it. So sometimes it's not really what I choose, but it was like chosen for me or chosen for the project itself. But mostly if I'm not happy with the color, it will be ripped out. Yeah. So I think this is all the projects that I wanted to share with you today. I have another beautiful crochet project that I really enjoy in the making. It's a new development that I cannot share. It's too early to share. I share sneak peeks on my Instagram stories now and then. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. But this is also another crochet project that I'm working on. It lives in this beautiful hand-stitched and handmade project bag, so I'm just happy to come here and show it again. Although I shared it and shared everything about it in previous episodes, I'm still very excited about this gift. I was gifted by a yarny friend, or how do you call it? I think a fiber stole mate. My lovely friend Catherine, a maker from the Wool Cat. She kindly hand-stitched this embroidery and made a project bag for me, sewed a project bag for me, and I'm still very, very excited to be the owner of this perfect project bag. So yeah, so I'm happy to share this one as well, and I hope I will be sharing with you what's the project that lives inside this beautiful hand-stitched bag. I think last thing is something that arrived in the mail yesterday. So my monthly subscription from the Raw One finally arrived yesterday, and I'm sure everybody that is subscribed already received it. Also the local subscribers from Israel, I know, received it already, so I'm not afraid to spoil anybody. But if you haven't received yours, you can, not to look, please don't look now. But anyways, my monthly subscription from Row One arrived yesterday. This is how it looks, and I'm very, very happy with this month's colors again. But I wanted to share it with you because I really wanted to share what the dyer wrote, because every month when you get your minis, it's a 10 grams minis from hand dyer, different hand dyer. And every month you get a little bit of information about the dyer, about the artist, and about the yarn. And every month you get some, you know, candies. So this is what we had in the package this month. And you have a little tiny envelope with a special stitch marker, which is also nice. Every month you get, like, you know, the simple bulb stitch marker, but look at this. And then you get something more like special. So this time we have a butterfly. I think it's, you know, connected to the springtime, but it's very, very beautiful and I'm very happy. But most of all, I just wanted to read what the hand dyer wrote here, just because I felt really related to what she wrote. So this month of Carnival of Colors Club from One Yarn brings you 100 grams of soft sock from Palmer Yarn Company. Let me show you the name here, so if just in case I'm pronouncing it not correctly. Soft sock is an 80% merino, 20% nylon fingering weight yarn, comes 400 yards to 100 grams. Kimberly Palmer is the artist behind Palmer Yarn Company, and she writes, I learned to knit because all I wanted to do was knit socks. I quickly realized that wasn't going to be that easy and started with something simpler like a shawl. I went to my local yarn shop and they showed me Ravelry, and the rest is history. I quickly fell down the rabbit hole of projects that I wanted to knit and yarn that I wanted to add to my collection. With a love for the creative, I decided to make my own inspired yarn colorways. I live in Minnesota with my husband and 3 small children. Most winter days are spent with my hand knit socks, keeping my feet and my children's feet warm. Kimberly dyes her inspired colorways in her studio in Winona, Minnesota, and care instructions. But I really like this little note and felt very related to what Kimberly wrote in this note. So yeah, I think this is everything that I wanted to share with you today. I have a lot more going in the making, but this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed. I really hope to have a lot of knitting time during the next weekend. Tomorrow I plan to spend some time with Maya, our eldest. I have an appointment in Tel Aviv, so I plan to spend some time with her, maybe visit her in her apartment, and I will of course take some knitting or crochet with me. I hope you also have something nice to work on. Leave me a comment, let me know if you are a crocheter or if you are a knitter, or maybe you enjoy another yarny craft adventure. I really love reading your comments, so thank you if you leave a comment. And thank you for those of you who support me on Ko-fi. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for joining me here in my little yarny, chatty, escaping, kind of space. I hope to see you soon on the next one. Until then, happy making. Bye.